I'm going to go ahead and turn these layers off and put on this text layer. Now, the alpha channels have always bothered people. Personally, I don't find them terribly hard, but I do know I've been at it for a while. Now, there's several ways around alpha channels. Some people will save their files as a PNG file. If you choose a PNG24, it will work. However, if you want to make a proper alpha channel, I've included an action that will do this for you. Simply select the layer that you want to turn into a document with an alpha channel, and then make sure every other layer is disabled. Only layers that are meant to be included in the finished graphic, such as the text or the bug or the bar, should be turned on. The rest, including your background layer, need to be disabled. This action essentially turns the transparency grid in Photoshop into your alpha channel. Let's go ahead and run it. I select Alpha Channel from Visible Layers, and I click Play. The action lets me know it's going to create a standard alpha channel. I click Continue. And it's done. Now, I think that's even faster than I can do it manually, so I have no problem using this action. It works. Let's take a look at the Channels palette. Notice it's added an alpha channel. There it is. I'll turn the other layers off for a second. And we'll make those thumbnails a little bigger. There's my alpha. There it is. White is opaque, black is transparent. It worked. This will work on single layer graphics or multi-layer graphics. Again, just make sure that you have visible only the layers that are meant to be included in the final graphic. Turn these on, and at this point I would just choose File, Save As, and I would save out a PICT, a TIFF, or a Targa. All three are well suited for video production use. JPEGs are bad all around, and they don't support alpha channels. Now, if you're an Avid user, Avid systems expect the graphic to be inverted. Avid uses a film alpha as opposed to a traditional video alpha. Well, Photoshop CS2 compensates for that. Simply pick the action that's entitled Alpha Channels from Visible Layers Inverted, and that's intended for those edit systems that use an inverted or a film-style alpha channel. There's one more group inside of this action set, and this is to make DVD slideshows. If you ever have a bunch of pictures and you need to size them for the television screen, this action will save a lot of time. What it does is it sizes the image down and then fills the outside area with black. If you need a color other than black, just go in and modify the action. This action is offered to you a few different ways. It gives you the choice of NTSC versus PAL, standard versus widescreen, and if you want the image to go all the way out to the edge, or for the image to be inset to sit inside of the action safe area. Let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and choose File, Browse. This launches Bridge. Bridge is the new file browser inside of Photoshop CS2. It replaces the traditional file browser, and Bridge allows you to browse from all files, and it's the same browser in all Adobe applications. This gives you a consistent file browser from within Illustrator, Go Live, and Photoshop. It's the same browser that lets you look at all of the different content and find the images you're looking for. A list appears on the left, and in here I get thumbnails. I also have the ability to size up those thumbnails to give me larger previews. And let's just go ahead and select a few images. And hit Enter. So here's this action. I could choose to create this for a DVD slideshow. And I could say this is a widescreen project. And I click Play. It goes through and sizes the image properly. There's the end result. Let's take this full screen and hide our palettes for a second. Notice, it filled around the image with black, in this case, pillar boxing. That's because the original image was not big enough to fill the entire screen. However, I am seeing the entire image. It is sized properly for the DVD slideshow. It's at the right resolution for a widescreen video project. All I have to do now is save it. If you've got a lot of images, simply run this as a batch and process an entire folder. Or, as you'll find out on one of our other disks, turn it into a droplet so you can drag a folder on top and let it batch process that entire folder. Let's try a different version of this action. I have the ability to tell it to run this and inset the image. So maybe I was running this for a standard NTSC television set. However, I wanted to inset the picture. This will ensure that the photo is sized for the television screen, but it will shrink the image down to fit inside of the critical action safe area. So if you're working with images and they're concerned that they want to see all of the image and that they don't want it to go all the way to the edge of the television screen, choose the Inset option. Select the image and hit play. And it's done. Notice it did the same thing. It sized the image for the television screen. However, it compensated for the action safe area and left a thin black border around that image. This is the best choice if you're working with photography or artwork where they want to see the whole image on the screen and not go edge to edge. These actions are there for video pros. Again, just call up your actions palette and load the video actions. The test image I was practicing with, you can download from my website, photoshopforvideo.com. I hope these save you a lot of time. Now, let's take a look at some more cool features inside of Photoshop CS2.